Hello and welcome to Best Replays of the Week. I am Luke Naller and this is our second episode of April Madness, where we're going through double the usual replays. So hold on to your belts, this time we have a Comet professional sniper, a how to carry from the bottom tier, and a confederate with a sticky name. Roll out! We begin with a nice aggressive steel wall as Spec Vansa from the EU region uses the AT-2 like a battering ram on Malinavka. Vansa heads straight for the enemy line, firing on the move. The TD isn't fast, but it sure seems unstoppable. As the enemies are spotted, they get torn to shreds by the allies. Those allies can't help here, but Vansa has things under control. APCR ammo takes care of the KV, and regular armor piercers are good enough for the rest. The AT-2 comes through the fight in good shape, and with 4 kills to its name. The enemy team's back has been broken. Vansa pushes forward, destroying 2 more vehicles, and the game ends with only 3 allies lost. Nice! That may well be the best steel wall replay we've seen on the show, from a bug no less. That opening charge was very effective, and winning the 4-on-1 fight secured the win. They say everything is bigger in the American region. It might be true, since Hell's Brigade seems to think the IS-3 is a scout tank. The match is a Tier 8 battle on highway. HB starts by tracking a distant enemy scout and heading to the western flank all alone. A rival heavy comes into view. Then an SPG and a med tank. HB pushes forward to engage the arty, but the hillside is suddenly swarming with enemy vehicles. The IS-3 has to take on 4, then 5 enemies at once, and without any cover. Luckily, the distant allies are pouring fire onto the enemies. Amazingly, the armor holds, if only just. Enemies are cleared from the field, and allies start arriving on the scene. What follows is a 2-pronged push into the enemy base. And Hell's Brigade takes the opportunity to finally pick up a kill. But what a fight it was, and some game-changing scouting. I bet the enemies didn't expect to lose the whole flank to a single tank. Next up is a confederate from the EU region, where Metsa Mantzika drives a Comet on the fiery Salient. Mantzika spends the early game skirmishing in the middle of the map and scores a kill on an uneyed heavy. The Comet rules the middle of the map, dealing damage to all enemies within reach. The second kill is also uneyed. 2 T-29s attempt to break through, and Mantzika unloads all remaining ammo on them. The heavies get stopped, but now what? Rather than hang back and nurse the damaged engine, Mantzika spends the rest of the game as a spotter lighting up the remaining enemies. Wow, 5.5k damage dealt and another 2.5 assisted. Excellent play, Metsa Mantzika. A tasty replay from a wild Finnish strawberry. This week's Top Gun is Fukzaku from the Asian region. It's been a while since we've seen an E50 replay on the show, so let's see what it can do. The battle is an encounter at Sacred Valley with the E50 on top tier. Fox starts the mayhem right away, firing on the move and using APCR shells to punch through armor. The game is 3 against 7, so Fox steps up the aggression and goes on the attack. An enemy T-54 attacks from the rear, and as Fox turns around to teach us some manners, it turns out to have some backup. 3 enemies here, and the game is now 1 against 6. Fox blows up the first 2, spins around, and deals with the T-54 who's trying another rear attack. That's 7 down and 3 more to go. One of the enemies tries its luck with a capture, but the last APCR round puts a stop to that. The scout is spotted in the distance, but the first shot misses. Getting eyed costs Fox a hit to the side, but the enemies are now down to 1. The unspotted IS is a real threat, and the E50 retreats into cover. What follows is a cautious long-range duel, where Fox uses the terrain to stay safe. The 10th kill seals the victory. Excellent situation awareness and a very nice comeback. Congratulations, Top Gun! Now a steely-eyed sniper takes to the field. This time, it's Havoc 199 from the EU region firing the 90mm gun of the Indian Panzer with deadly accuracy. Havoc sprints north, catching the enemies on the move, and starts dishing out headshots. The Panzer peeking out to take shots and reloading in cover. The kill is secured at close range, and then it's back to sniping. When the enemies start returning fire, it's time to go elsewhere. Havoc nails 3 more kills with professional-looking ease and deals heavy damage to several other vehicles. The enemies are running out at this point, but there's still time for a 7th kill before the end. With just a single missed shot out of 35, Havoc played that one like a true professional. Sometimes it's the smallest tank which gets the biggest task. Jester 030's M41 Bulldog is on the bottom tier, but it will have to save the day. The battleground is Serene Coast on an EU server. The defenders' work begins when an enemy scout breaks through the lines and goes for the artillery. The base is threatened again when Jester is busy and far away. It takes a while to get back, but the Bulldog arrives in time. A full magazine is just enough to deal with the Kappa. The RT is calling for help again, and Jester charges the attacking T-32 as soon as the gun is ready to fire. The enemy heavy turns to fight the Bulldog, and the SPG blows it up, shotgun style. It looks like the base is secure, and it's time to go win the game. The rescued SPG helps out by blowing up an IS-3. Enemy RT strikes close, and a second attempt almost ends the defender's run. As Jester looks for an opening, the Super Pershing sneaks into the base and an artillery strike takes out the last ally. That's it! Jester heads back to kill the invader and runs into the responsible RT on the way. It dies in seconds, and an ambush takes care of the Pershing a little later. That leaves the Tier 9 SPG, which can kill the damaged Bulldog with a splash hit. The defender isn't going to fail the team now, however, so the Bulldog dodges a shot and wins the game with a bonus Top Gun. GG. An excellent mobile defender and a solid carry from the bottom tier. Well played! And now for the last replay of the episode. The little Sperrpanzer SP1C is more of a damage dealer than a scout, and, as Hero War shows, capable of punching well above its tier. The map is Overlord on the Asian server, and the enemy team is full of Tier 10 giants. Hero doesn't seem worried though, as the little Sperrpanzer heads straight to the front and starts throwing AP at the enemies. And it works! The little gun finds soft spots on the big targets, and an enemy scout is hammered to scrap. The next kill is a Centurion AX, followed by a Tiger 2. A shot from the monstrous Waffenträger leaves the tank with 4 hit points, but even this doesn't slow Hero down. The full health T-95 looks like some legendary monster next to the little scout, but Hero is ready to slay a dragon. The beast is distracted, and it's time to test the APCR rounds on its hide. Turns out they bite into it just fine. And while the T-95 concentrates on bigger opponents, the little scout tank takes it apart. The enemies are down to a mouse, and Hero drives to the capture zone to secure the win. There are still APCR rounds ready to fly, however, and the mouse gets pierced and set on fire for good measure. An ally puts in the final shell, and the game ends in a victory. Spirited fighting with a small, fragile tank, and a great ending for the episode. Congratulations and well played. And there you go. I hope you've enjoyed our second catch-up episode. Keep chatting in the comments or even raid me on Facebook. I am Lick Nella. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.